Time of the Imams, what we notice is that the Imams never asked about other areas. For example, it's the night of Eid, night of doubt. Either tomorrow is going to be Ramadan or the day after. Tomorrow is going to be Eid, Eid al-Fitr, or the day after. How come the Imams never asked their companions, what about other areas? What happened to the other areas? Is the moon going to be spotted there? Was it spotted there? They didn't even care about the other areas. They just cared about their local city. Now, you may say, well, obviously because there was no forms of communication. If the Imam is sitting in, let's say, Kufa, how would he know if a city that's 30, 40, 50 miles away, if it was spotted or not? Now, yes, now that's true. There wasn't any fast ways of communication, but couldn't the Imam wait until the next day? The Imam would tell his companions, yeah, nobody spotted the moon in Al-Kufa today, but so tomorrow obviously should be Ramadan, it's not going to be Eid, so let's fast. But next day, noontime, afternoon time, someone obviously would bring news from. He would send someone at Maghrib to go and spot it, and it would take 5, 6, 10, 15 hours. So by next day, the Imam would, wait, he'd hold the majlis, he'd ask, what happened? Should we continue fasting? Should we consider it? No! The Imams did not care about other areas. Even other areas, close areas where they could rely on. 50, 70, 80 miles, because remember we said it differs. The 140 mile radius doesn't always apply. And even more than 140 miles, let's say far places where it takes 2-3 days. How come the Imams, 2, 4, 5, 6 days after Eid, they never asked, what happened? Did we fast on the correct day? Did we have Eid on the wrong day? They never went to investigate. It was possible. It would take a couple of days for reports to reach from other places. The Imams never asked. Because if you can rely on other areas, and let's say 200 miles away the moon was spotted, that means tomorrow was Eid while the Imam fasted. So 2-4 days after that, the Imam should have investigated. Or maybe the Imam considered it Eid and it wasn't Eid. So the point that they make is that the Imams only were worried about their area. We don't have a hadith where the Imam used to ask, distant areas, what will they do? What are they going to do? Let's send some people to, to bring us news the following day. No. And in fact, the ulama, they add, another part to this argument, which makes it even more, reasonable or acceptable, is that the ulama, they say if it is allowed to rely on other areas, then this would tell you that in most years of the Imams' lives, they performed their a'mal incorrectly. You see, it's a very clear-cut argument. Number one, if you can rely on other areas, then that means most or some of the a'mal of the Imams were incorrect. So based on this, they say that we understand the Imams didn't worry about other areas because it was not important. Because you could not rely on other areas. Let me give you an example. We perform Hajj. The official Hajj begins on the 9th of the Al-Hujjah. Now, how do you know when the 9th of the Al-Hujjah is? You have to first determine when the Al-Hujjah began. So let's say the Imam is performing Hajj. In Mecca, no one spots the moon. So they say, tomorrow is not the 1st of the Al-Hujjah, it's the day after. But maybe in Medina it was spotted. So if you can rely on Medina, that means Mecca and Medina are the same. So that means tomorrow is the first day of the Al-Hujjah. The Imam never investigated. He has 8 days to ask before Hajj begins. Why not send someone to Medina? Did anyone see it there or not? The Imams didn't care. The Imams, they didn't see the moon in Mecca. The 9th day of the Al-Hujjah came, and they said, let's go to Arafah and perform Hajj. While if they could rely on other areas, that means maybe they performed Hajj on 10th of the Hujjah because the moon was spotted in other areas, but they did not see it.